Hey, everybody. Thank you for coming. I'm going to play a little video here first. Let's get this video going.
Well, I've done a lot in this sport, but I've never fought a legend, and Royce Gracie is a legend.
John McCarthy stopping this fight. Could this be over here? Can Royce the belt?
Wow,
it is all over.
That man is as great a champion as we have ever witnessed here in the Ultimate Fighting Championship.
So it's obvious why we're all here. We're here to induct Matt Hughes into the UFC Hall of Fame. And Matt Hughes is one of these guys. Everybody knows the relationship that I have with Chuck Liddell and have had, you know, since before we owned the UFC. Well, what a lot of people don't know is Matt Hughes is another one of those guys that I have an incredible relationship with. He wasn't around, you know, I didn't have that relationship with him before we bought the UFC, but when we did, you know, as we're here today at the UFC Expo and all these people are here and the UFC is going global, you know, a lot of people don't know about, or some people do, back in the day when, you know, Pride was out there and all these other organizations and we were struggling and everybody was coming at us with guns a-blazing. Matt Hughes was one of these guys who was not only a great fighter and a great champion for us, but one of the guys who helped us build this business and build this sport. And he was a guy that I never had to worry about. I didn't have to worry about Matt Hughes going out and signing a deal with somebody else. He was always loyal to us, and he was also a guy, me and Joe Silva were just talking in the backstage there. Anytime we called Matt Hughes to take a fight, he never said no. Never turned down a fight, never tried to get out of a fight with somebody, didn't want to fight anybody. Doesn't matter who it was or on what type of notice, Matt Hughes came to fight. And Joe Silva was talking about one of the times that, you know, he called Matt on late notice to fight Thiago Alves, and he says, you know, Matt, I really need you to take this fight. Somebody fell out, blah, blah, blah. And Matt said, yeah, done, I'll take the fight. And Joe goes, thank you so much. And Matt Hughes goes, don't thank me. This is my job. This is what I do. That's the kind of guy Matt Hughes is. That's the kind of guy Matt Hughes has always been. And another one, too, and many of you might have heard me say this before, you know, when I called Matt Hughes to take when he had to do that Frank Trigg fight, the second fight, the first fight they fought, they had a little bit of a wrestling match going on. Then Matt Hughes gets his back standing in the standing position and chokes him out. And Matt Hughes and Frank Trigg hated each other. And I said, Matt, you know, Trigg's got a bunch of wins. We're going to do the Trigg fight again. And he's like, oh, man. He's like, this is a no-win situation for me. I'll never beat him more exciting than I did the first time. Yeah, right. So then the second fight happens, and I'm sure many of you heard me. I don't care if it's boxing, MMA, or what. My favorite fight of all time is Matt Hughes versus Frank Trigg 2. It looks like Matt's going to get beat. You saw it. He's getting smashed against the fence. It looks like he's getting rear naked choked in the first round. He scoops him up, runs him across the entire octagon, slams him, smashes him a couple times, and then chokes him out. Way more impressive than the first fight. And one of the greatest fights I've ever seen. Let me just run through a couple of his accomplishments. We already know 44 pro wins, 17 UFC wins, most all time, 2 welterweight championship reigns, 7 successful defenses of his title. 9 championship fight wins. He tied with Randy Couture for the most ever. 5 knockout wins at a championship fight, which actually is tied with Chuck Liddell for the most ever. And there's about 50 other things on here that I won't bore you with. Ladies and gentlemen, one of the greatest fighters of all time, one of the greatest welterweights ever, and one of the greatest human beings you could ever meet who helped us build this sport and business, Matt Hughes! He's actually strong enough to hold that thing while he talks. I'm not. There you go.
I'm not blessed with the gift of gab like DW. I call Dana DW. Always have, always will. So I want to say thanks to everybody. I got to take this award, and I would probably cut it up into pieces and give it out. I wouldn't deserve this award all by myself. I definitely give God a big piece. I give my wrestling coaches through high school and college a big piece of it. A huge piece I would give the UFC. You don't win an award like this and say you've done it all by yourself. I've got a great family at home. God's blessed me. I grew up rough where I had to have a good work ethic. Grew up with a twin brother where I got to learn what competition was all about at a young age. And with those two things, it made me who I am, coupled with the UFC. So, I mean, we being the UFC wouldn't be where we're at today without you guys. There's no doubt about that. The whole fan expo going on here, the UFC selling out most every event they've got. I mean, to be honest, it's you guys that pay that admission that write my check. So I got to take my hat off to you guys. Thank you guys.
So he's acting very humble here. I read you through all his accolades, and he really, truly is, has been a great partner and been one of the people who've helped build the sport and build the UFC to what it is today. And, like I said, talking about the fights that some of my favorite fight that he did and some of the others, he's one of the guys who's come out and delivered every time. When I talk about you guys buying plane tickets and flying out to wherever we are, buying tickets to the fight, spending $45 on the pay-per-view, we've been entertained over the last 9 years by guys like this. Real fighters that come out and fight anybody, anywhere, anytime. I'm so honored to induct you into the UFC Hall of Fame. Thank you. Huh? That's it. It's yours.
Thanks, guys.
Grab it and stand over there and let people take some pictures. Thank you all very much. We really appreciate it.